to learn it yourself. Sorry. Well, Josh, thank you so much. I'm really honored and touched that you presented this award tonight for our film. It's very generous of you, and thank you for your films. I really do. And please go back and make some more. Okay? I thank the New York Film Critics Circle. It really, people always say it really means a great deal to me, but it does. It does, coming from the New York Film Critics. I mean, well, I come from New York, and some of you may have surmised that. I did, as you were talking, I did kind of grow up in the late 60s, early 70s, hanging around the New York Film Critics for a long period of time with a couple of friends of mine. We got to all know each other, and it was quite a time because it was a place where there was a constant, strong debates about new cinema that was coming in. There were 3 or 4 masterpieces a day from all over the world. Very lively and powerful, and really, and I think, as you were saying, I think they all got to know me and I got to know them, and so it took about 25 years before getting a Best Picture. I think a lot of it was, we gave Marty something, didn't we? No, I thought it was something. Anyway, it's okay, because I had to go to LA and came back. The early 70s, though, there was another really strong, eye-opening experience. I got involved with a project which didn't come off, but it was, got me involved in being in the Pine Ridge Reservation in South Dakota for a few days, and being involved with the Lakota Sioux. I was young, I was like 29 or 30, whatever. I was too naive and too ignorant about all of this. I didn't know. And I was stunned and shocked, really, by what I experienced there. And I was so taken back from it, because I come from, when I come from New York, I come from an area that's now very chic, but I grew up on the Bowery. It's very, so I didn't, when I saw the suffering of the Native American, I didn't know I just didn't know how to calculate it all. I didn't understand. And so over the years, that project fell apart rapidly. And over the years, this impression stayed with me, and I became more and more and more fascinated by the Native American, the indigenous people. And then some years later, very many years later, David Grant's book is put into my hands, The Killers of the Flower Moon. Okay, it's about 48 years later. And granted, some people have been saying, I understand it takes me a long time to make a picture, but this wasn't, 48 years making one film, all right? But anyway, got to read the book, and as soon as I saw the book, I said, wait a minute, this involves indigenous? I said, this has got to be very careful. The only way I get involved with this, I get to know what's going on for real. And ultimately, I felt it was the right project to take on with the Native Americans, this tragic story that's really been unknown to so many people outside of the Native communities for so many years. But what really made it work for me, what got me, I didn't start making the film, I got sucked into it, in a sense. And it came with a period of gestation. The gestation was that we were ready to move. We had the script of The Irishman, we were gonna go do that. And we wanted De Niro to be with Leo in this film. And we said, maybe we should do Killers of the Flower Moon first. And we talked about it, and then we realized that if we thought we had a problem with CGI and Irishman in the beginning, imagine waiting another 2 years. So we said we better do Irishman first, which we did. That took maybe over 1 year and 3/4. Then there was COVID, another long break, maybe a year. And during that time, right before COVID, I was able to make 2 visits to Oklahoma and visit the Osage country. And suddenly you were saying it, Josh, but I did see differently. I heard differently. And I started to think differently about, first of all, the land hit me. The prairies, the hills, the space, the sound. And the vision started to take, started to feel comfortable in a way, started to take place. But most importantly, all these elements, doing Irishman first, the CGI, the COVID, the this, the that, all that gave us one great thing about the film you're honoring tonight, and that was it gave us time. Time, which is the most important thing in life, really, time. Story, it gave us time to check the story from every angle. 2.5 years to create that the final decision to go ahead and make the story the way we did it. And that leads me to want to be able to thank quickly tonight some of the people who, had such an important role in bringing the picture to life. I can't mention everyone. My producer Dan Luby is here, Daniel, and researcher and executive producer Marianne Bauer, and executive producer Lisa Frechette, casting Ellen Lewis, and my editor Thelma Schoonmaker. Happy birthday! Jesse and all of them, that Ty Mitchell, all of them who couldn't be here tonight. But I also have to thank Apple. You hear that word support a lot, but you don't know what it means. It becomes like a catchphrase. But the only way you can get to know what it means is to experience something like support that I got from Tim Cook and Eddie Q and Zach Van Amberg and Jamie Erlin. This was an amazing experience with Apple. And then there is the extraordinary cast that is here with me tonight. Tantu Cardinal. Gladstone. Aaron Meyer. Renee Collins. Colleen Redcorn. Where is it? Colleen. Yancy Redcorn, Tatanka Means, and William Bellow. We talk so much, people have been talking about, the great contribution of the Osage, and it's more than a contribution that sounds like we went from mere authenticity. It goes beyond that, because that second visit that I did in Oklahoma, in Osage County, I was invited to a dinner at Grey Horse, and in what looked like a gym or a kind of a youth center in a way. And there were over like 250 people there that night, Osage. And we sat, and they got up and talked. We all met. We ate dinner together in the Osage style. And suddenly, the catastrophe had a face. And from those faces that night, I was clued into the most troubling aspect of the story, and that is love. All the struggle and the pain and the outrage. Ultimately, I think the survival too, I realized had to be prized and wrested from the hearts of Molly and Ernest, because love and trust was so much a factor in all of this. The story had to be told through their love story, which was real. I mean, hard as that is to accept, is real. And in their relationship, I saw the absolute essence of the deception and the violence. There was a truth to their love, a truth to her trust, and a truth to his delusions and his terrible, terrible weakness. So in this, what became like a bolero of a love story, I saw a microcosm of the greater tragedy. David Grant pointed out in his book, people got there and he was thinking about who did it, and the response was always who didn't do it. The greater tragedy, the complacency, the complicity, and culpability. And I really got sucked into and immersed in the whole thing. If they did it, as human beings, are we all capable of it too? And so that reverberation was in me every day and every minute through the production and of course, the editing of the film. So no matter how we got to the final form, with 2.5 years trying every different thing, trying all kinds of improvisations and working with Eric Roth and everybody, for me, the final film that you see, that you're honoring here tonight, all happened that night at Grey Horse, with those voices and those faces, those Osage. I can't thank them enough. I really, this is such a great honor to have my third film recognized by the New York Film Critics. One final note, I want to thank someone who isn't here, my old friend Robbie Robertson, who's created the score for this picture. And obviously, you'll say it wouldn't be the same picture without it, but it's true. I miss him. I do miss him. And I wouldn't be the same person with all those years of friendship. I just wouldn't be. Thank you.